CGU members, this is going to be much less of a video, much less of a long video here. This is one memorization. I just want to start off with questions as usual. So do you normally play or perform by memory? If so, why do you choose to do that? If you don't perform by memory, why do you not choose to perform by memory? Just curious to know. Do you have any specific methods that help you memorize pieces? So please discuss this in some detail. Do you play from start to finish over and over again? Do you have like a certain, system or routine or something that helps you to memorize? I'd love to know what your specific methods are for memorization. How long does it typically take you to learn a piece by memory? Give some examples of things you've memorized in the past, how long it took. So I think the fastest I was able to memorize something was in one day, but that was because I practiced it for about 5 hours. But there are other pieces where it's taken maybe weeks or even months to really have solidly memorized. It sort of depends on the piece and how much time I invest in it, like from the start. Maybe you've got a similar answer to that. And do you ever struggle with memorization? So if so, how does it manifest? Through random memory lapses, or are you not able to even sort of start the piece in a performance? Just really curious, if you've ever actually struggled with memorization. So in this booklet, I give a really unique method for memorization, and it's based on visualization. So visualization is something that we all do in our daily lives, whether we're aware of it or not. But this type of visualization is going to be very, very intensive. Have a read through the booklet, because there I talk about memorization and defining visualization, and visualizing in small doses during practice. So maybe looking at a couple of measures and just visualizing it before you play, like visualizing how you want it to sound, and visualizing it on the fretboard in your mind's eye, just for a few moments, and then playing the guitar. That's a fairly common way for visualizing. The method that I have is based on a practice from 18th and 19th century, and probably earlier, musicians, which is where they actually wrote out, or they copied out music by hand to learn about composition. That's how they sort of imbued the laws of music, you could say. That's how they learnt music, sort of like through osmosis, you could say. So they copied out scores by hand. So to go one step further than this is a memorization technique you can do. Is grab some blank manuscript and write out as much as you can of a piece that you're working on, or that you already have memorized. Try and write it out on manuscript and see how you go. Even if you do the first 4 to 8 bars, that's very impressive, because you have to literally think about every single note. And there's something really special about this technique, because it feels like you're almost recomposing the piece, because it's so intentional. Every little dot you put on the page and stem you have to think about. So you're literally thinking about every note you put on the page. And you might be surprised at how difficult it is, even for something fairly simple or something you've known for a long time. But I used this method quite a bit when I was touring and doing competitions. When I was on the plane, I would just get some manuscript and write out the pieces I was practicing. It's a really great way to practice. There's actually scientific evidence that says when you visualize, you use the same part of your brain as when you actually practice. So it's basically like practicing. I think it's, you do need to also practice your instrument, but it's a really, really great reinforcement for memorization. So yeah, grab some blank manuscript and try it out. And let's share our work. I've given you a couple examples of some that I've done in the past, and it's a really great It's a really neat method, especially today in this digital age where we don't use the pen and paper as much. It's good to get back to that. So try it out, and I think you'll be surprised, and I think you will love this method. I recommend doing it in small doses. It's very intensive. It hurts your brain after a while, at least it did for me. So love to know more about your own memorization methods, and thanks.